pretentious. So very many drunken tales begin with a breakup. This tale is no exception. After many years of shared feedings and countless coital episodes, a lady who shall remain nameless decided that I was unfit to be her lover. I, being of the opinion that I was her perfect lover in all ways, was severely shattered by this revelation. So I set out to nurse my broken heart in the only way that I know how. By getting drunk as a priest for many weeks on end. An epic bender is a fine way to forget a lass, and I wasted no time in getting down to the hard work of calming and sometimes inflaming my passions with liquor. The owner of the liquor store by my house often reflects fondly that this bender put his daughter through college. He even put up a very classy plaque commemorating this bender. He was so poetically obese. It was in the middle of said bender, when my heart and mind were at their weakest, that I received a phone call from a dear friend. He had season tickets to the Disney Music Hall, and he wanted to know if I would like 2 tickets to go see my favorite composer, Philip Glass. I would take them, I said. Perhaps I would even ask some lady to the concert, and in the process procure a new lover to ease my pain. Soaking in my sadness, however, was not the confidence-building exercise that I required at the time, and I drunkenly decided that I would go to the concert alone. What better way to emerge like a phoenix from my depression than to treat myself to an evening at the symphony? Just me, a flask, and good old Philip Glass. The night in question arrived, and I dressed with great care. Looking confidently in the mirror as I buttoned the sleeves of my well-pressed shirt, I said to myself, tonight you are going to the symphony. And you know who goes to the symphony? Big boys go to the symphony. You are officially a big boy. That evening, my friend was working at Bar 107, so I decided I would have a cocktail or 7 there before the show. That is, I decided exactly what a classy symphony-going big boy would do. After many beverages, I was becoming raucous and annoying my bartending friend with my tales of woe in regards to the lady. Tonight, I told him, everything changes. With this Philip Glass concert, a new chapter in my life will begin, and I will rise in the morning with a fresh outlook, ready to start over. He seriously doubted this statement, but wished me well regardless. I drunkenly sauntered towards Disney Hall with a spring in my step and a positivity I had not experienced in months. Things were going to change. I could feel it. Upon arrival at the venue, I tried my best to fit in amongst the very stiff and proper crowd. I did notice, however, that I was getting some weird looks from the countless couples in the lobby. I don't think that they had ever seen a grown man chug wine with such rapidity, and looked upon me with great scorn. I didn't let it get me down, and he even tried to interact with an older couple by asking them if they had seen the most recent televised golf tournament, thinking that that was the kind of thing rich, uptight white people talk about. They did a fine job of ignoring me, which stung momentarily, but then everyone began to take their seats, and I was distracted from my social inadequacies. I took my seat next to a couple in their mid-40s and immediately began telling them that I think that Philip Glass is not only the cat's pajamas, but also the cat's pipe and captain's hat. They seemed to not understand me, as if my language was unintelligible to them. One thing was for certain, however, my passion for Mr. Glass alarmed them. Before the show started, I added, let me apologize in advance for my behavior. Sometimes the music just grabs a hold of me, and I can't be held responsible for my actions. Enjoy the show. The music began. The haunting rhythms of Mr. Glass infected my mind, and I began to sway like a very excited autistic child. As I rocked back and forth to the drone of the instruments, I was given entree to another world entirely. In this magical world, I had no broken heart. In this world, my ex-girlfriend begged me to return to her embrace, but I refused. I was a new man. One who was far too good-looking and talented for her. In this new world, I was the king and my options were endless. In this world, I was so very happy and free of the mental turmoil I had been suffering. I could have stayed in that world forever, were it not for intermission. I excitedly slapped the man next to me on the back and said, how fucking good was that? chuck some wines, keep a seat warm. I went to procure the wines and took them outside to indulge in a cigarette and maybe a one-hitter filled with blazables. As I smoked and drank, I reflected that everything about this night was perfect, and it was only going to get better with the second half of the program. I laughed quietly to myself as I noticed an usher approach me. "Sir," he said, "we've had some complaints from those seated in your section that your concert-going behavior is inappropriate." I was swaying mildly, I said. I could easily stop that. "Sir, unfortunately, there are a lot of complaints from the people in your section, and I'm afraid that I'm going to have to ask you to not return to the concert hall." I was stopped. "Are you really kicking me out of the Philip Glass concert?" "Sir, please do not get upset. We do not want to have to call the police." "Are you really kicking me out of the fucking Philip Glass concert?" I asked. "Sir, it is a simple fucking question I am asking. Are you really kicking me out of the fucking Philip Glass concert?" "Yes, sir, I really am kicking you out of the Philip Glass concert." "That's all I wanted to know," I said. "Let me leave you with this." I then turned up the volume of my voice to its maximum, so not only my new enemy could hear me, but also everyone in that dumb fucking lobby. "I hope all of you pretentious motherfuckers spend eternity sucking demon cocks in hell. And by the way, you can't fire me because I fucking quit." The stunned crowd knew not what to do as I marched towards the bus that night. In my drunken mind, I had just won one for the little girl. The girl who broke my heart went on to get married to a kind and lovely man, and they have found happiness. Philip Glass went on to score many films, continued to create music, and still has no idea that his biggest fan was kicked to the curb by pretentious thugs. I went on to continue my bender for another week. And to this day, I cannot hear a Philip Glass song without cracking a mischievous smile and thinking, man, liquor will make you say and do some crazy fucked up shit. Thank you.